Welcome to English First Additional Language. I'm sorry for the hiccups. I'm Hazel Chigwada. I will be taking you through English First Additional Grade 12. Today's lesson is on comprehension, reading for understanding, interactive reading, and answering questions. By the end of the lesson, I expect you to be able to analyze the title, link it to the text, and write correct answers from the text, give answers to a variety of questions, apply the skills learned to answer questions, interpret information from an advertisement, since we are looking at paper 1, section A. Now, I've just displayed something on the screen for you to see. I would like you to comment. What is it that you see on the screen before we start our comprehension? I just want a few people to tell me on what it is that you see. Yes, I'm seeing money. Money, can I hear you?
Hi.
Yes, money.
I see money. There's
Money,
money.
money, as in your name, yes, indeed. There is a lot of money. I'm having two other participants. What else do you see? I'm having two other participants other
Yeah.
than money.
Uh, I think it is in USA law economy USA.
Sorry, can you just try to speak up a bit?
A sign of US dollar.
The sign of a US dollar. All right, thank you so much. Now, just from seeing this picture, what comes to your mind? How do you feel? I want you to appeal to your emotions. How do you feel when you see this bag of money and someone rightfully said it has the US dollar sign and money, as in his name said, there is money. What is it? How do you feel? What do you think about? Let's communicate. I say today it's going to be more interactive, so let's engage. Yes, Will, welcome back.
When you have money, you feel like you want to buy things.
When you have money, you feel like you just want to buy, spend it. Very good. Someone else? I'm having Tokozisi.
I think you must be rich or have power on everything.
Okay, Mtokozisi is associating money with being rich and having power. All right, now thank you. Having said all that, we are going to read a text on money. And I had wanted you to have your mind on money, what it is that you think about, and you all rightfully said, yes, you would think about being rich, you think of being very powerful. Now, we want to find out what it is that we are going to read more about. Yes, it's on money. Now, from the emotions that you already have with regards to money and how you feel and what you want to do when you see money, we are going to read. I'm going to go on to the next slide and then we will read. Something is taking here. All right. Now, because this is an interactive one, I said whenever we have a comprehension text to work on, the first thing that we have to do is to look at the title. And our title is The Price of Happiness. Just from the price of happiness, what is it that you think about? What do you think the content would be covering? From our title, let's try to analyze this title, The Price of Happiness. Now, go back to that introduction we had earlier on. What is it that you think we are going to read about? What do you think? This is a question, an open question for anyone to answer. Yes, Mtokozisi?
I think everything that has to do with prices must have money.
Okay, Ntokosis is saying everything that has to do with prices has to do with money. Someone else, let's hear other opinions and your views. The price of happiness. Price of happiness. All right. Now, from the price of happiness, already we assign or we relate price to money. And now we are saying the price of happiness. Are we ever going to get it in money? I don't know. But because of the word price, I think of money. Can I equate happiness to a price? Can I put a price tag on happiness? Will it be fair? Now I want to find out more what it is the author or the writer is talking about when he say the price of happiness. Can I equate a price tag to happiness? Now we are moving on. Now from our first introduction, from our first paragraph, that's where we get the main idea of the story in most cases. So I'm going to read, and as I read, like I always say, make sure you also read. I'm going to start reading, and everyone make sure you follow because I will be asking some questions. All right. Now, having said that, I'm going to read to you, and please make sure you follow. All right. I shall read. When one was a child, the promise of money as a reward was both exciting and tempting. Being handed a shiny coin or a note for a piggy bank was worth tidying up one's room for, even if one did not want to. From a young age, people learn that money offers immediate satisfaction, and this feeling never stops, even if they do not fully understand why. Author Claudia Hammond describes it as a magical experience. Now, from my paragraph 1, I would like to ask you, what do you know? What is it that is said explicitly in paragraph 1? What do we know from paragraph 1? Remember those WH questions. What, who, when? Can someone answer that? What is it that we know from paragraph 1? Let's hear. What do we know? Or I must read it again the second time in case you missed on something. When one was a child, the promise of money as a reward was both exciting and tempting. Being handed a shiny coin or a note for a piggy bank was worth tidying up one's room for, even if one did not want to. From a young age, people learn that money offers immediate satisfaction, and this feeling never stops even if they do not fully understand why. Author Claudia Hammond describes it as a magical experience. Now, let's find out what is it that we have just learned from our paragraph 1. What are we discussing here? Paragraph 1. What do you know? Let's hear. If you have an answer, just raise your hand. From paragraph 1, what do we know? The central idea in paragraph 1 or the main idea there, what do we know? What do we know? All right, Mtokozisi, what do we know from paragraph 1?
It is Tobani.
Oh, sorry, there is something wrong with me. Okay, Tobani is fine.
Okay, I think in paragraph 1, they're emphasizing that the problem of loving man starts from a very young age.
Okay, there's an element of age coming in there, but I want us to be very clear on what is it that they are saying about being young and money. Being young and money, yes, you can explore that.
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Someone to help him. Yes, he had brought in the idea that, yes, in paragraph 1, we are told that this money we talk about, the love of it, it starts at an early age, but there is more to it other than us loving the money, even if we don't fully understand why. It's not there. Okay, let me help you there. So in our paragraph 1, we are mainly being told that people learn that money offers immediate satisfaction from a very young age. If you are given that shiny coin, you will be satisfied and you'll be prompted to do even things that you didn't want to do, like in this case, tidying up one's room. And you know that I will get some incentive in the end. So it gives us that satisfaction that if I do this, I'll get some money and I will be contented. All right, now I'm moving on to paragraph 2. And notice, this is how we go through our paragraph work. Whenever you have comprehension, paragraph by paragraph, line by line, if possible. Now we are on the second paragraph. Hammond's book, Mind Over Money. Now remember Claudia Hammond from paragraph 1. So it is now being pursued on who is this Claudia Hammond. We got him in paragraph 1 where he was describing the fulfillment that we get from money as a magical experience. So we want to find out more because he is now being referred to as an author in this case. So because he had said money or the satisfaction that we get is just a magical experience. Now let's find out more on why he describes that experience as magical. Hammond's book, Mind Over Money, The Psychology of Money and How to Use It Better, explores the scientific aspect behind people's relationship with money and includes 263 different social experiments. These experiments investigate the way in which money plays psychological tricks and how people can control money rather than have it control them. So from the second paragraph, we get to know that, yes, if we have money, according to Hammond, he is trying to tell us on ways of controlling money, not letting money control us. And he does this through the investigation or the experiments that he included in his book. And there are about 263. You can imagine if you are a scientist and you are carrying out an investigation and then you have for your population 263 people, then we know that you really want us to believe in your results, or you would have done it so thoroughly that you wouldn't want to leave any gaps in your research. This is what we are getting from paragraph 2. Then we move on to paragraph 3. We know Hammond now, he carried out an investigation and he is trying to help people on how to control money rather than have it control them. I'm on paragraph 3. Let's read together. Claudia Hammond claims that money acts like a psychological drug, producing similar effects to that of dopamine. And dopamine, by the way, it is a chemical responsible for controlling the pleasure at the center of our brain. So that chemical is like a drug. Which is being compared to money here. Claudia Hammond claims that money acts like a psychological drug, producing similar effects to that of dopamine on people's brains. And dopamine had been written in bold. In most cases, if a word had been written in bold, you will have a glossary at the end of your paper to explain what it means. Dopamine is all about immediate reward rather than delayed satisfaction. It is not specifically the love of money that causes the dopamine effect, but rather what money can buy It is buying shoes or a car or whatever else we desire, which gives us that useful feeling, that wonderful feeling that I have bought something. Like our first responded said, ma'am, when I see money, I just feel like going to buy. And in going to buy, you get that satisfaction, which Claudia Hammond is talking about. And now let's find out. Now, if we are having to go and buy and we are satisfied, is there any permanence in whatever you would have done? Taking your money and buying. Let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you need to be asking questions, communicate with the paper. Now, if I go to buy, am I going to have a lasting satisfaction? Let's hear what you have to say on paragraph 3 there. What do you have to say where Claudia Hammond is saying, if you have money, you go buy. And that's the satisfaction. Is it going to be a lasting one? You go buy. Let's hear. Well, let's hear your views on this one. Are you going to buy? Are you going to be one of those who will just go and buy and be satisfied? Do I have any? Yes, Will? Let's hear, Will.
I think not, because there might be more things that that you want to relieve your satisfaction, I think.
Okay, Will is saying there might be more. Like if you go buy, you'll still not be satisfied because you need more than what you have bought.
Yes,
Did I
ma'am.
get all right? Okay, so you in instance, you are simply saying money and going to spend it. It's not permanent because I will still have that craving that I still need to buy something. I just want to go and spend. All right, and then Fulu. Let's hear Fulu's views. Fulu. Okay, let's move on. Now we can simply say in paragraph 3, Claudia Hammond therefore says that whenever you have money and you go buy, it's not permanent. It's just a temporal thing, a temporal satisfaction that you get. So spending money is just temporal. I'm moving on because we really need to move on now. And then we go on to paragraph 4. And then if you are to look at your paragraph 4, Cape-based financial planner Shanae van der Walt claims that there is nothing wrong with wanting money. She says, having money means that we are able to take care of our immediate needs. Not having it can cause anxiety, but if we respect money and are grateful, it will take us further and afford us better opportunities. Now, from our paragraph 4, we are now introduced to yet another character. Who is this character? And why do you think is now being involved in this matter that we are discussing? Can I have an answer on this one? Who is this character who had just joined us, and why do you think we are having this character? Let's hear if we have any answer from anyone. Let's see, do we have anyone? Who is this character we have just been introduced to? And why do you think we are having this character in this discussion? Why do we need this character? Do I have an answer? Do I have anyone there? All right. Now, yes, I'm not so sure if it's Mtokozisi or it's Tobani.
Tobani.
All right, Tobani.
Okay, I'm going. I hardly pronounce the name, but I can say
Oh,
why.
sorry about that. I'm sorry.
I hardly pronounce the name. I think
Okay.
it is important to have her on this in this conversation because she is a financial planner. She is kind of like an expert on money, like, Yeah, that's all I can say.
All right, thank you. You are very correct in saying that, yes, this is a financial planner and she deals with money and she is an expert in this. So it would be proper to have her with Claudia Hammond in the same passage to bring in that credibility that I was talking about. Whenever you are writing something, you need to bring in information that can be believed by people in, because we are having experts in finance and an expert in writing on financial matters. Therefore, it makes it an authentic piece of writing, and we believe whatever they are saying or whatever is in our article. Then I'm going to move on to paragraph 5. I know and I'm sure we are all following. Now, paragraph 5. Research shows that only 1 to 3% of the population want to make money in order to grow it. The rest of the population want to make it, to spend it. It is up to the individuals to make careful decisions regarding how they spend and save money. Now, in our paragraph 5, we are being given a fact from some research that had been carried out that only 1% of the population want to make money in order to grow it. How do we grow money? Let me hear it from you. How do we grow money here? They are saying only a percentage, 1 to 3% of the population want to make money in order to grow. Yes, Tovani?
I think when they are saying to grow money, they are referring to some investment, like investment, like some sorts of things. I think.
Okay, thank you. And that is very correct. When you are growing money in this context, we are simply saying you are investing your money so that you get more and more in the end. Those who bank, you know that there are some investment, there are some platforms where you can invest money in a bank, or you can invest money by buying property. You are investing so that in the end, that money will have multiplied. So if we are to look at it, we are having only 1 to 3% of our population investigating. What does this tell us about the population with regards to money? What is their attitude towards saving money? If we are having 1 to 3% of the population investing, what does that tell us about the general population? Let's hear, what does that tell us about the general population here? If we have 1 to 3% of our general population investing, what is our attitude towards money? The general, yes, Will?
Do you say that they don't want to spend it recklessly?
Okay, if we are saying only 1 to 3%, we are mainly saying, like Will is suggesting, we do not invest. We cannot per se they are spending it recklessly, but this is the only smaller portion of our population that is keeping money for growth, or they are investing money. All right. And then from there, we move on. The other population is all about using the money, and then that will be it. Paragraph 6, money can act as both a tool to accomplish the things people want, as well as a drug. Where people do not use it wisely and instead allow it to control them. It is also suggested by researchers that buying experiences is better than buying objects. People look forward to experiences much more than they do to purchasing new items. After all, new possessions are not new for very long. After a month, a pair of shoes loses its shine. By contrast, pleasurable experiences give people emotional satisfaction and memories which can last a lifetime. And now, in paragraph 6, it is now a combination of what Claudia Hammond had said and what Shanae had also said, in the sense that there is a belief or there is a conclusion that had been come up to where they are simply saying, yes, money is good, we need to buy this and that, but if you wrongly or if you don't control it, it can become like a drug. And I'm sure you heard me emphasizing on a drug as I was reading. Remember, there are some medicinal drugs that will help you, and there are those drugs, your nyaupes and all those drugs that will just damage your reputation and your health. So yeah, this money is being likened to a drug where people do not use it wisely. Think of a medicinal drug. If you get a drug from a doctor and you are supposed to use it for a headache and you use it like as an overdose for something else, that drug would have been used not wisely. As a result, you have let it control you, and in the end, you might even have your mind affected. So there we are saying, yes, money can act as a tool of accomplishing things that we want, or it can damage. All right. So this is not just what we see or what we know, but it is based on a research that had been carried out. So we are saying buying experiences now, there are two things that you can buy. You can buy some experience or you can buy an object. If you go to a shop, you buy your shoes, your pair of sneakers, and then when you bring them, the moment you wear them, they are not new anymore. And then there is no permanence. And then after some months, you don't even have interest in putting them on. Then we are having an experience. Think of going on holiday, maybe to Mauritius. That would be a lifelong or a lifetime experience, and it will always be in your memory. So this is what we are getting in paragraph 6, that money can be a tool to accomplish the things people want, or it can be a drug where people do not use it wisely. And in the end, you will suffer, or you will see that I have not done it properly. It will affect you some way or the other. And it can also be used for two things. One, to buy objects, those tangible things that we have, or an experience, like I gave you an example of going on holiday. Can I have some examples of experiences that money can buy? Let's hear it from you before we move on to paragraph 7. What other experiences can money buy, which is a lifetime experience to you? Let's hear it from you. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's hear what you have to say on a lifetime experience. What lifetime experience do you have with money? What can you buy? All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next paragraph then. Okay, now, many South Africans also believe in the power of spending on experiences and memories. This had been indicated in the last two lines of paragraph 6. Now it is a follow-up on the experiences and memories. Many South Africans also believe in the power of spending on experiences and memories rather than on material things, those objects that they talked about in paragraph 6. Experiences with friends and family can also improve relationships because people engage in an emotional way. However, while spending money on experiences is great, it is important not to do so to the point of recklessness or getting into debt. Yes, you would want to go on holiday with your family, but make sure you do it within your means. That's what is just being highlighted here. Then we move on to paragraph 8. So, can money buy happiness? Research findings show that some lottery winners still have not found happiness 2 years after their win. Most of them are actually worse off financially than they were before they won that. That is because they do not earn money the hard way. So they do not really understand the importance of spending it wisely. They spend it on immediate pleasure and are often overwhelmed by friends or family asking for help. It is important to invest money and look after it. The next paragraph, however, financial planner Shanae van der Veld suggests that money can be well spent to bring true fulfillment, happiness, and financial freedom. We may earn more, but that doesn't mean we should spend more. We can find real happiness by spending money on things like education, which could bring the joy of achievement. I know these days, parents, guardians, they are going out of their way to make sure that the children get some education. And through education, they have hope that one day this child will have true happiness. And it will be by liberating the mind. And once your mind is liberated through education, you will have the fulfillment of your lifetime. And that will, no one will take from you. Then the last paragraph, it seems that money on its own is not the key to satisfaction. However, using it wisely, conserving it to what really matters in people's lives and building financial security can be a pathway to a happy life. A pathway, why using a pathway here? Can someone quickly explain to us why using a pathway to a happy life? Why are we having a pathway to a happy life? Money on its own is not the key to satisfaction, but using it wisely and conserving it for what really matters in people's lives. And building financial security can be a pathway to a happy life. Why a pathway? Why has the writer here used a pathway to a happy life? Why a pathway to a happy life? Yes, Will?
The person is emphasizing. The person is emphasizing of whether how you spend money, so forth. I think she's emphasizing.
All right, Will, the use of the pathway here, we are being given an image of a path. I just want you to look at the different types of routes or roads that we have. We have a path, a footpath, a path. A path is just narrow. So if you really want to have a happy life, this is my interpretation from what I have inferred there, where it is being said, what really matters in people's lives, it is all about you having financial security, and you must use money wisely instead of you just spending it recklessly. So that comes at a cost, the price of you saving your money and using it wisely. It might seem very difficult as you do it, but once you do it, in the end, you will have a happy life. Like most parents, they forego a lot of things to allow their children to go to school so that they will have a happy life. They would have invested their money through a very difficult pathway where they forego some cars that they might want to buy or that big house that they wanted to renovate or buy, but they have just narrowed it into a pathway where it will lead directly to a happy life. All right, now having said that, we are now going to answer the questions. And having analyzed your text like we have just done now, we are going to answer some questions. All right, now 1.1, using your own words, explain how money was used to tempt a child in the olden days. How was money used to tempt a child? You go back to your paragraph 1. How was money used to tempt a child? What is it that people used to do to tempt a child using money? Let's hear it from you. Paragraph 1. How was money used to tempt a child? And there's emphasis on use own words, and it's in capital letters. Let's use our own words there. Let's use our own words. Someone to answer 1.11. Using your own words, explain how money was used to tempt a child. How? Think of your young days, when you were still a toddler, and those days when you didn't want to do so many things, and your dad would just say, just wash my car, and then, all right, what is it? How was money used to tempt a child? All right. Money was used as an incentive to tempt a child, to make a child do even the things that the child did not want to do. For example, the one that we have there, where you would find the child even tidying up the room, knowing that there would be a reward at the end. So using my own word, instead, I would simply say money was used as an incentive to make a child do things that she wouldn't even want to do on her own. Then 1.12, why is the following statement false? Use your own words. And remember what I said about the false true question. Be very careful. Read and understand. Ask yourself, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, the statement is false. So why are we saying it's false? Use information from the passage or the text. Why is the following statement false? Use your own words. People are born with the belief that money offers instant happiness. Is that, how do we make this a true statement, and why?